Here we're going to look at our first indirect solar energy. And our first one is biomass. Why do you think biomass is considered an indirect energy source? Well, first, what is biomass? What is bio? Yeah, bio is life, and really pertaining to plants here. And how do plants get their energy initially? Yeah, from the sun. So it's an indirect form because we're not getting it directly from the sun. It's going sun to plant, then we're using the plant as energy. And really, with this, we talk about burning wood. And that is our biomass. More than 25% of the world gets their energy from biomass. One type of biomass that we use here in the United States in large quantities that you might have seen before. If you look at the back of your car, you might see this stamp that says flex fuel. You might see this thing called flex fuel. Or at the pumps, you'll see where it says that the gas contains up to 10% of ethanol. Well, those are biofuels. That is using corn and then turning corn into ethanol and then mixing that ethanol into gas. And the flex fuel cars can use and burn that mixture of gas and ethanol. And then there's this biogas, which we'll have a video on, which is mixes of gas produced by decomposition. If you look down here at this map, this is pretty cool. This shows wood fuels and energy consumption. Where do you notice that wood is the main source of consumption in the world? If you look all across Africa and in other tropic areas in East Asia and some in South America, a lot of wood is their main source of energy consumption. So looking how to produce indirect energy. And here we have our sun, photosynthesis is going on, and then as those trees are cut down, they then can be used and burned to produce energy. Some types of biomass, you have your wood, which is the most common, rubbish, which here is just the trash, alcohol fuels, which is fermentation of plants, crops, which we use to make ethanol, and then landfill gas, like methanol. So here we've got a biogas plant. What a biogas plant does is it puts a lot of decomposing trash and waste into this landfill. And as it decomposes, they put this bacteria that breaks down and eats the trash and decomposing stuff. And as they do that, they produce this gas. And this gas is usually a methane. And the methane then flows through this pipe, and then that can be trapped and then liquefied and used as an energy source. Alright, the last type of renewable energy sources that we're going to look at is ocean temperature energy conversion and cogeneration. Now, starting out with OTEC. OTEC is a series of pipes that pump water or have water in them and at different layers in the ocean, and they almost cause a convection current. So if you remember back to chapter 6, a convection current is how water cycles. Cold temperatures drop, warmer temperatures tend to rise. So if you have this large tubing system in the ocean and you have water in it, it eventually will start making a convection current. Well, water will naturally move in this direction. Where at different parts you have basically turbines where it's moving its quickest, and that turbine will spin and spin a generator. And then cogeneration, which is something that's more common. OTEC is not as common, and I don't think has much of a use in the future. I mean, it could, but as of now, it doesn't seem like it will. But cogeneration is where you basically, what's co mean? It means together, generation. Well, a lot of these different forms of producing energy, you lose a lot of heat. And that heat is just wasted. Like in cooling towers and nuclear and cold power plants, where the cooling of the water, all that heat is basically lost. So what the cogeneration does is it recycles that heat. It can be used for different purposes like heating water, pump back for generating electricity, but it's just capturing that heat that is normally lost to continue to use in either heating water or generating electricity. So energy is one of those topics that is the future. How are we going to get our energy? And how are we going to conserve our energy and not overuse our resources? And really, ways that you can conserve at home are by using compact fluorescent light bulbs, the ones that look like those, instead of incandescent. Make sure that you're using Energy Star appliances, which most appliances now today are. Just look for this star. Possibly your house, if you ever are going to build a house or move into a house, get one with south-facing windows. Possibly plant a tree in the front to give your south-facing part of your house shade. Better insulation on the north and attic, so you don't lose the heat when you want to keep it in. And also, you can insulate the cool air when you're running your AC when it's warm. And just making sure you turn off the lights when you're not using them. Other ways of conserving energy at home. So the most promising solution to cut current and future energy needs is conservation and the increase of energy efficiency. And really that's it. How can we be more efficient, and how can we conserve what we have right now? And like we said, compact fluorescent, shade trees in the south, using Energy Star appliances, and with an average yearly household bill is about $1,500. That's something to where conservation and increased energy efficiency really can help out. It's cutting that cost.